Hello,
Hola.
my name is Nail,
Oh, Najib.
and yep, I have a question about this moment of self-realization. Is it a random event? Does it happen to people at random, or is it you have to do certain things, and unless you do them, it will never happen?
This may sound like a paradox, but it is random, and yet one has to keep the mind quiet. Now, if the mind is quiet, what is the question about doing something? If the mind is still, it's not doing anything, right?
Right. But yet, still, it's not a guarantee, correct?
You are already the self. I can guarantee you that. You are already the self, and the self is already self-realized. And the ego cannot realize itself. See, the ego disappears. Self-realized means the self is already the self, and it is already as it is, and it is already one's own self. It is one's nameless, formless reality.
How long does it take to be quiet for it to happen?
No time.
So that means I never sat down and I was never quiet till this moment.
Sorry?
The fact that I didn't have that experience of self-realization means that I never sat down and I was never quiet. Well,
Yeah.
I
Even
made attempts.
yeah.
But
Even if the mind is quiet, it still is present. So when the mind is quiet, it disappears. First has to be quiet, and then it disappears.
is it
What is mind anyway? It's thought. See? It is thought I or I am the body. If you sit down and you are mentally quiet, see, you are not thinking. Still the thought, I am Najil, is there. The body identity still is there. But if Najil keeps quiet, right, the idea I am Najil disappears. When the idea I am Najil disappears, then the self reveals itself by itself, to itself, as your own self.
mhm. So it's a meditation practice.
No, meditation is different than inquiry.
But I mean, to sit with a quiet mind is a practice of meditation.
No, the quiet mind is the meditator. And if the thought I am meditating is there, the ego is there thinking that it is meditating. Right? So there is no meditator in meditation. The meditator, or the idea of being a meditator that is doing the meditation, must disappear.
So what do I need to do?
To be mentally still.
Like, do I need to sit down on a couch, or what? How does it look like?
Now there is somebody asking the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you raise the question, who is asking the question? The answer is I, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just look at this I at least for a minute and see what happens.
Right now?
Yes. You can do it later, but why not now?
Mm-hmm. It's very hard to do. So many questions, so many thoughts.
So many thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts are about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there must be a thinker. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Leave the thoughts alone and keep the attention on the thinker. Thoughts may be there, doesn't matter. Just keep the attention on the thinker. Who is the thinker? I. See, who is this I? I want to see who is this I.
There's no answer. There's just witnessing. It's like the seer.
You are just witnessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is I? Najil? Witnessing?
No, it doesn't have anything. No name, nothing.
And you are that.
Mm.
You are that which is witnessing the body, the mind, energy, whatever it is.
Okay.
There are three states called awakening or awakened state, dream state, deep sleep state. You experience that every day. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. In the dreamless state, there is no body, no world, no mind, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But you must be there, witnessing nothing.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yes, yes. But if you know about deep sleep, yes,
After I wake up.
yes, yes. That means that you were present,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Even if you say, I was not present, how do you know that you were not present? If you were not present, how do you know you were not present? That you must be present. What was not present is what you think you are.
But present where?
Just know where you're present. You exist in deep sleep, isn't it?
I exist. Mm, yeah. As a what form? As
Ah,
a body.
No. There is no body in this sleep, right?
Yeah. In what form do I exist?
Exactly. You know there is no body, no world, no mind. So you must exist to know that there is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So awakened state, there is everything. Dream state, there is everything also, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you must be witnessing the awakened state, dream state, dreamless state. So you must be witness. You must be witnessing. See, you must be that which is witnessing,
Yes.
which is nameless, formless.
Yes.
And yet it is, and yet it exists, and yet it is witnessing. It is witnessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not doing witnessing, it is witnessing.
And it's impossible to experience it because it's formless.
It is yourself. You can experience something, right? You only can be it. And to know it is to be it.
We don't even have a choice not to be it. It's not an option.
Exactly. You cannot not be. See?
So it's a logical conclusion, right?
Yes.
It's a logical conclusion that we're formless and nameless. It's not an experience.
Yes. If I am that, what shall I do to be what I am already?
Mm-hmm. So, and yet, you and other masters had some mystical experience. And I was asking about this mystical experience that you had.
I don't remember about mystical experiences. There is, or I discourage all the mystical experiences. The interest in all that, even if they show up, fantastic. It's a phenomenon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I must, by the means of the mind, okay, put that experience in a higher state, and it's better than any other experience, right? And now, experiences depends upon what? There must be a witness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how mystical, extraordinary the experience may be considered, right? It is nothing without witnessing it, see, without that which is aware of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that which is aware of it is nothing, right? And so much interest in experiences, right? Even especially mystical experiences are very distractive, because by paying attention to that, thinking about that, you miss the most obvious thing, which is what you are.
Right.
So none of that can exist without you, right? And all of that exists because of you.
Mm. Mm.
You're still awake? Ah, you're not going to school tomorrow. True.
Oh,
The
I
logic,
don't think
even the logic will tell you right? That there is nothing that needs to be done. And all the practices and all the efforts is to cease making effort, right? If you practice something, it is either physical or mental, yes or no?
Yes.
And who is aware, witnessing the body and the mind practicing?
It is so simple, but
Yes, that's the problem, perhaps.
but when you look at other cultures, like the Buddhist cultures, they meditate days on, and their tradition is 1,000 years old, and yet this is so simple, and your mind like says, no man, it can't be that simple. If these guys are meditating for 1,000 years, there's something.
It must be difficult, therefore I will choose something difficult to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is that mental doing the obstacle? Because the mind has to be totally quiet, totally still, wanting nothing, knowing nothing. And in that stillness, see, that stillness becomes like a mirror, right? Where we can clearly see oneself.
Mm-hmm. Wanting nothing, no desires.
No desires, no knowledge. You will not lose your memory, your capacity to think and to feel and all that. Right? One does not become stupid. Right? One simply loses one's ignorance, right? By paying attention to many things, we ignore oneself. We are ignorant of oneself, of one's reality.
Okay, so there's two conditions: no knowledge and no desires. I'm okay with no knowledge, but desires is the hard one. I still have desires.
Okay, but what is a desire? That you want something? No. Desire is when you want something in such a way, right, that you can't stop thinking about it or doing something to attain it. And you do it because you believe that when you attain it, you're going to be happy. Are you following? It's the insistence to experience a particular object, whether it's physical or intellectual, means to acquire some knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that when I get there, when I get that, I will be happy. And knowledge, you may have it now, and you're talking to your friends, and then you don't think about it. See, you study mathematics, and then you go out for a walk with your girlfriend, and you stop doing calculations. Right?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, you want whatever it is, okay, a delicious meal, fine, you get it. For how long does it last the experience? For how long does it last the flavor in your tongue?
Short time.
Yeah. For how long does the body through which you experience all that last? Also for short time, right?
Yeah, relatively, yes.
Exactly. So everything is impermanent, right?
Yes.
Everything is subject to change, right? So what we want is permanent peace, and what we are is what we want. Now, when you know what you are, you will find that all this is not separate from you, right? And then you're free to play with illusion, right? You will not get trapped in it anymore. If it is transient, if it comes and goes, and you know that, fine, the world is harmless. It becomes a playground. Otherwise, it's a trap. If you take it to be real, and you take to be an infinitesimal part of the illusion, which is that body, then it's a trap.
So what to do with I am aware of a desire and what it is exactly.
Then
Should I satisfy it or try to
be happy.
convince myself?
Be happy whether you get it or not. Try if you wish. So again, when we realize the nature of all this, we stop running after so many things that are completely unnecessary.
So
Right?
it's okay to have a desire and still
Be
have a
happy.
quiet mind.
Will you be happy either wise, whether you get it or not?
Yes.
Then, by all means, you want something, go for it. You may succeed, you may not. The thing is that if the ego is present, right, and you fail, you're going to feel bad. And if you succeed, you're going to feel proud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If there's no ego, whether you succeed or not, it doesn't make any difference.
So I can still have the quiet mind with that, having that the desire.
The mind is I, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the restlessness is because of this I believing, right? Suppose that you want something, you are not going to stop until you get it. So there is restlessness, right?
Mm. Yes.
You are restless, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop thinking about the bloody thing, okay? And then you do your best to get it, okay? Fine. When you get it, you rest. Oh, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you experience peace. And then you may believe that the peace that you experience is because you got it, is because you stopped seeking what you got. See? And then when you
Right.
why not to stop now? Right?
Right. Mm.
I may like to watch a movie, right? Why not? I go to the cinema show. When I get there, they will say, sorry, there are no tickets. They are sold out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there is no ego, you say, damn it. Okay. No problem. Right?
Right.
If there is ego, you may be so desperate that you may tell somebody on the queue, listen, I give you triple of the money that you got for the ticket, so I can get yours, right? Right? You may be able to do even stupid things, right? To hurt people, to lie, to fool, right? To trick, to corrupt oneself, right? To get what we want.
Okay. All right. I understand now.
Everything here is impermanent. So if you want something permanent, it is not here. Here there is only pleasure and pain. That's the world. The world is maybe pleasant or unpleasant. The body itself, right?
Yes.
Must be comfortable or uncomfortable, right? The body itself is impermanent. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then what is permanent? I. The one that exists with or without body, like in deep sleep.
Right.
So once we become aware of one's nameless, formless reality, then the questions about this, that, or the other will simply not arise. You will not ask anything to anybody about, see, what to do or not to do. See.
Mm-hmm.
You may ask simple questions. See, what's the time, right?
Yes.
Which bus shall I take to go from point A to point B? How much is it, right? Oh,
Right.
or whatever, right? How much money do I have in my pocket? $20. Okay, I can have that. I don't know, pizza or whatever it is, right?
All the practical questions.
All the practical question, all the existential thinking just simply goes away. And we are no longer conditioned by one's beliefs. See, whatever is the belief, right? Spiritual, religious, political, scientific, it doesn't matter. See? Meaning by if I do this, then I get that, and when I get that, I will be happy, right?
Right.
Go to heaven, right? I will not reincarnate. And what you are is not even born. So what is the question about birth, death, reincarnation, karma, free will, and the rest of it? You are not related to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you are not touched by that. Everything collapses. The I collapses. The idea of an individual will, individual self, right? That exercise individual will, right? And is going to enjoy the benefit of it in the future, right? Some sort of merit, or the merit, right? If there is merit, you will enjoy it. May go to heaven, I don't know, whatever. Otherwise, it will go to hell. Right? The idea of punishment and reward, which is basically how the society is based on, right? Punishment and reward, right? If you fail, you are punished. See, you don't go, you don't pass the class, you don't go to the next course, right? You stay there. You have no right. You're excluded, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will not watch TV, right? You will not play with your phone. You will not go and see your friends, right? You are not going to the party. Behave yourself, and then you can do this punishment reward, right?
Yeah.
So you are not conditioned by any of it. Right? You may have to pretend, right? For the sake of even the safety of your physical integrity, right? Do we actually need a passport? To be honest, no, right? Do we need a paper? Do I need a birth certificate, a piece of paper that states that I am born, right? Right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, you're born. Like it said so, that you were born. I'm here, right? You check the body. See, it doesn't say I was born, see, 5th of July, 1969 at 11 a.m. in such and such place. Right? It doesn't say Venezuelan, Christian, man, human. It doesn't say anything anywhere. I check everywhere. It doesn't say male, doesn't say anything. It just is, right?
People like statistics. They want to count.
Yes, yes. When people start counting, see, you have to be careful.
Mhm.
There is an alter motive.
Mhm.
I heard a poet saying that the only thing that he was afraid of was the fools. And then I asked why? Because there are too many. Therefore, they are dangerous. They can even choose the president, he said. So, that's a joke. It's not my ideology, right? That's just a
Yeah, I
joke.
get it.
So you may have to say, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you, whatever, right? You move on. Even though you are not really conditioned by that. See, you don't believe in it, right? You may have to, right?
Yeah.
Somebody takes your ID and look at ID and see, yes, this is you. This look like you, therefore this is you, right? So you say, good luck.
Right.
Geography, no? When you study geography, these lines are imaginary lines. They are not even there. So all that stuff, you just fell off your brain. Right?
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
All those beliefs, the root of all these beliefs is I. See? I am the body. That's it. That's the original belief. And then you attach more to it. And more you attach, all that is me.
Yes.
So who is born? I. Who is going to die? I. Who is going to reincarnate? I. Who has free will? I. See. Who is this I? Look for it. And it's just not there. And everything else is away with it. You may refer yourself to see as a body. How can you function in the world, right? But
Right.
you know that is not 100% true. You are also the body, but you are not limited to it. When the ego is gone, you find yourself to be witnessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you are witnessing, you will not perceive it as separate from you, right? It is also you. Then who is witnessing what? Right?
Right.
Even that idea will disappear. And that's it.
Right.
Where you from, by the way?
Originally from Uzbekistan, but I live in St. Louis,
In?
USA. St. Louis,
Oh, US.
USA.
Yes. How we speak before, don't remember.
Yes, long time ago.
Long time ago. Right. I remember the name. That's very rare. Faces, I may not forget, but names for sure. Even my wife get angry with me because she calls me sometimes. I just don't reply. I don't mean to annoy her or do it intentionally. Sometimes I forget.
It's not a bad thing
No, it
to
isn't.
forget.
No. As I say, I speak English because I remember the language, right?
Right.
That's memory, right? So the knowledge that I have, I will not forget. I may not use all of it. Most of it, for me, is useless, right? All what I learned and read, and all that is completely useless, right? Basically, English language, Spanish, simple mathematical calculations on basic knowledge. Right, left, up and down, blue, red, green. Right.
Yeah.
Tomato, potato, cooking pan, eat.
Yes. Very, very basic things.
Very basic things, right? If I will be working, doing something, not a problem. See, this will keep on functioning, right? Just I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
I may need it later, who knows? But for now, but you don't lose your
Yeah.
you lose your identity with it, right?
Knowledge should be driven by the need, not the other way.
The
You
knowledge,
shouldn't.
the knowledge comes out of the need, yeah.
But we're doing it the other way. We're learning a lot of stuff that we don't need.
You may get it from outside, from somebody that teaches you, but that person must have get it from within. It must have been revealed to him. It reveals itself, but not to anybody. But
Mhm.
can you see that the mind just works spontaneously? Why people want to control the mind? Because they are not thinking, right?
Impossible to control.
There is no need to control it. We have to see what the mind actually is. It's a tool, right?
Mm.
It's an instrument, right?
Mhm.
It's not a self. It appears to be a way. The thought process gives the impression that there is somebody, an actual person. See? The mind appears to be a being, a self, right? This is what is called false self or illusory self, right?
Right.
So this aspect of the thought process disappears, right? The identity. With it, the beliefs. I mean, you remember them, right? Because you remember that there is heaven and hell and this and that, or you will not forget. You just don't believe in that nonsense anymore.
Yeah.
You may believe in capitalism or communism or any other ism, right? You know that makes no sense at all, right? And you don't forget the belief. You just don't identify yourself with it. Therefore, you don't go along with it. Right? So the body, the activities are no longer controlled by, conditioned by. It's called conditioning, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, if you were enlightened, you were in Auschwitz, right? And somebody tells you, listen, dress up like a German soldier and pretend to be. I mean, for sure, you will take the chance, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're stupid enough to believe that you're actually Jewish, right? And you will say, Heil Hitler, and you will save your life, right? And as soon as you get out of there, you remove all that stuff and carry on, right? Not being Jewish, not being German, right? Just being.
Mhm.
So that's what I mean. Sometimes you may have to
Do what you gotta do.
do what you gotta do. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you are not affected, see, any longer
Mhm.
by physical activity. That doesn't mean that you're going to do something stupid, right? You're going to go here and there, cheating, lying, fooling, killing, robbing, raping, or whatever, right? That's doesn't work that way. On the contrary, one becomes harmless, right, to oneself and the others.
Yeah.
Within oneself now, from the physical point of view. Uzbekistan, right?
Yes.
Good.
15 years in America.
Nice.
I was 21 when I moved to America.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Cesar.
Hi. You're welcome. Good to see you again.
You too. Pleasure speaking with
You're
you.
welcome. Okay.
Okay.